So now is the time to answer that all-important question. What is the ARK and why does it even exist? First off, to preface, this is not a carbine. This is a carbine. We got a 16-inch rifle, we got a scope on it, good trigger, not a binary trigger like this one. Well, Fostech Echo. This is a carbine. It's fairly lightweight. It's meant to do rifleman kind of work. Sling is a pretty basic carbine setup. On the other hand, the ARK rifle is not a carbine. The ARK rifle is built as a light support weapon with night vision capabilities. It has a 5x primary arms prism scope with a Romeo 5 red dot on top and a Crimson Trace mount on there. The reason that is because I found when you mount these Crimson Trace mounts on here, they have this full bar across the bottom, and that helps with the short rails that they have on top of these piggyback mounts to keep it straight. When you use the normal ones with just a single tooth, they tend to kind of get wobber-jawed and they'll tilt to the side, and you gotta shim them up to make them straight, and that's just a giant headache. We don't want to do that. As far as construction on this rifle goes, this is a 20-inch H-bar barrel with a 0.95-inch profile, so it's almost an inch around for a 22 diameter hole down the middle. Right now it's just running an A2 birdcage. Eventually that may get upgraded to hold a can for flash suppression. It's got this Midwest Industries quad rail on it. The barrel has aluminum heat sinks pressed onto it. This barrel was manufactured by Red Right Hand. They did a great job. It's awesome. It's got the Superlative Arms short stroke gas piston. So it's got their Superlative Arms bolt carrier group in there. It has a Fostech Echo trigger. It has the hardest selector I've ever owned, but it does a good job. It has a sear in it so that you can't outrun the gun, so it's basically idiot proof. With the RPK in the video you saw earlier, you can outrun that trigger and you can get hammerfall, and you have to charge out a live round to keep the gun up and running. This one eliminates that issue, so that's super awesome. As far as ammunition types, it does not like Wolf, doesn't work with it. I primarily shoot this M193 by IMI, works really good. And the hollow points I'm using are the Frontier 62 grain boat-tailed hollow point match. I'll probably butcher that name later, but that's what I'm using. As far as magazines, take standard Stanag mags. You can use 30 rounds with M855. If you want a little bit more punch, you can use 40 rounds, although you run into a little bit of an issue with fitting it under the bipod unless you're actually holding the gun up. And I built this, built is a strong word, as my starter mag, which is two 40 round mags coupled together to lay down a lot of initial fire before you start running with reloads. It has also got a Holosun laser unit with the visible red laser as well as the IR laser and illuminator. Has a tape switch that I kind of zip tied on there to keep the wires out of the way. Vertical grip up here just to help hold the gun, because as I said earlier, this is not a carbine. This weighs in at 13.2 pounds empty, so it's pretty beefy. And I think that's about it other than the sling, but sling's a sling. I put a padded sling on it because, as I said earlier, it weighs 13.2 pounds, so padded sling is a great idea. Magpul bipod that I've painted previously. Once it warms up, I will paint the rest of this rifle and it'll look awesome, but for now, that's the build. Another gun being featured in this video is my RPK. I've had it for a good long time. Much like the ARK, it runs the 30, the 40s, and it can also run 75 round drums. It is equipped with a 4-prong flash hider, has the binary trigger in it. Other than that, it's just a big long AK with a 23-inch heavy barrel. Last gun being featured is my 11.5 carbine named Alice. Has a turbo case suppressor, Holosun laser, Romeo 5 red dot, and a primary arms 3x prism. Other than that, it's just pretty standard carbine. Alright, so 7.6239 out of a 23-inch barrel, full metal jacket round. Hit right below here, split out the back. You see the energy transfer is really cool. It blew the lid off. The pressure of the water actually shattered the lid. On to the next caliber. Alright, this shot was with the 11.5 running an M193 full metal jacket round. Typical to full metal jacket rounds, we have a small entrance and we have a split out the back. So pretty typical, good results. Alright, so the second shot was taken from the 11.5-5.56 using a 62 grain hollow point boat tail ammo. As you can see, it just decimated this water jug. Blew it completely apart. The lid is just gone. I think it disintegrated. In the video you can see it just misted it. It just puffed the water everywhere. Alright, this last shot was taken with the 20-inch with M193 5.56 55 grain full metal jacket. As you can see, it had a very pronounced effect on our target. Absolutely split the bottom, dug kind of a hole in the ground with the water pressure, split it out 1, 2, 3, 4 ways. I don't really see an entrance hole. Just kind of broke the whole thing. Onto the full metal jet, onto the hollow points. Alright, so 20-inch 5.56 62 grain hollow point boat tail. Absolutely devastating results on target. Can't even pick the thing up. Right here was our entrance wound. Split it completely in half. Split it all down the bottom, all across to here. Out the back. Shredded the back side. Plastic's all warped. There's fragments coming out the back. Split over here. The lid was disintegrated. I'd say it's pretty effective.